together. We're going to mark the sides that they share. So this is going to be side, side, side. Number 3 is easy where they already all have all 3 sides marked. So side, side, side. On number 4, you should have gotten angle, side, angle. On number 5, side, angle, side. Okay, on number 6, it's angle, angle, angle. And angle, angle, angle does not prove that 2 triangles are congruent. It proves that 2 triangles are similar, but not congruent. Because you could have an equilateral triangle that has side lengths of 2, and you can have an equilateral triangle with side lengths of 8, and they're not congruent, but they have the same angle measures. Okay? So angle, 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 and angle, side, side cannot be used to prove triangles are congruent. They do not work. So this one is not congruent. All right, here we have vertical angles. So we're going to have angle, side, angle. For 8, we're going to have side, angle, side. So when I write my congruency statement, I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to say triangle QPR is congruent to, okay, so QP has 1 mark.
Couldn't you know that the other side's congruent?
Mm-mm.
It's a P and O.
I mean, you do once you prove them congruent, but there's no reason to mark that. Okay, so QP has 1 mark. So that means I have to start with NP because the 1 mark side has to match up and the 2 mark side has to match up. So QPR is congruent to NPO.
Could you have written it differently, but it still be correct?
As long as the letters match up in the same spot.
Got it. I did that.
Okay, so we mark here, and we're going to have angle side side, and angle side side doesn't work. So that means we're going to put not congruent.
That's my water bottle.
Water bottle.
I left it over there. You didn't want me to forget it.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
If I'm boring both of you, please feel free to go somewhere else.
No, it's actually helping a lot.
Like, actually, just please feel free to go somewhere else. All right, so here I've got angle, angle, side. I didn't ask you to write the congruency statement, but please make sure that if you did, you matched them up. So this triangle on the left is triangle IJM. And I has 1 mark. So if I do here, I have to do L, K, S. So make sure you don't just write it in the order you think it is. This one is reflected over. Okay, on number 11, we can mark this guy in the middle because they share. But those arrows mean that these lines are parallel. So we're going to have a transversal. So if I do this transversal right here, I can say alternate interior angles are congruent. So if you mark it the way I did, it's going to be
Angle side.
angle side angle. But technically you could have done the opposite sides, and so it would have been angle, angle, side. So angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side would have worked on this one. Okay?
Wait, I only see 1 angle though.
You added for the inverse of whatever.
I got side angle side.
Yeah, I got side angle side.
So you can do,
How?
oh, well, okay, you can, if you mark these two, this one and this one,
The parallel.
and then you mark that,
Yeah.
then that can give you side angle side. But you could also mark this guy and this guy.
Oh, I thought that you couldn't,
Yeah.
that you couldn't mark those because they weren't,
It's because they're
you couldn't
parallel.
prove that they were.
No, because it's transversal. It's parallel. They're
Well,
alternate
No, I
interior.
mean like the other sides. Like
Well, if
BC
these-
and-
If these are parallel and this is your transversal, those are alternate interior as well. So either one would work. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so when you write this, you're going to write something like BCG is congruent to GAB. You can mark this here. These are parallel. This is your transversal. So you can mark these, or you could mark the other side. And if you marked it this way, this would be angle, angle, side. But if you did the others, it could be angle, side, angle.
Wouldn't it be side angle side?
Those are parallel, not sides.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not doing the back. You're welcome to use the back for practice. I have the key in here. You are welcome to look at it later if you would like to. I would like for you to get out the sheet that we did last time. That looks like this. And I had asked you to try 3 and 4 at the bottom. So we talked for just a second at the top about once you prove that two triangles are congruent, then you should know that all of their parts are congruent. And we wrote out, we named the two congruent triangles that were in the box. And we listed out the congruent angles and the congruent sides. And I said we're going to put a star by this part where it says CPCTC. So when we get to proofs, you're going to have to know what that means and how to use it. So CPCTC stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So what that means is if these two triangles are congruent, if we can prove that, then we know that all of their parts are congruent. So it was kind of like when we had parallel lines and transversals. Once we knew the lines were parallel, then we knew that these angles were congruent. Same thing here. So I'm going to let you abbreviate the CPCTC, but you need to know what it stands for. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So I had asked you to work number 3, and I said be careful because it's saying that WXY is congruent to ZYX. So 7P plus 13 equals what? 20. So P equals 1. Now there's 2 ways you could have set up Q. You could have said 2Q plus 8 equals 16. And the reason I did 2q plus 8 is if I use this entire side right here, that's 2q plus 8.
No.
Because 5 plus 3 is 8.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. I just
And then this entire side is 16. But technically, since this piece right here and this piece right here are equal, you could also have said 2q plus 3 equals 11. Now, if you don't listen to anything else I say today, please listen to what I'm about to say because there's a problem on the test, not the quiz. There is a problem on the test like this. So rein in for just a second. If I had a problem and these weren't equal, so let's pretend this was 7 and this was 11 right there. I know it's not drawn to scale, doesn't matter right now. But let's say those two pieces were different. Could I still say 2q plus 3 equals 11?
No.
No. I would have to do the total and the total. So please be careful because the one on your test is not equal. And so you have to do the whole entire thing equals the whole entire thing. So in this case, 2q plus 14 would have to equal 18. Okay? So the only reason on this one that you can do those little pieces is because those are both 5.
But are they still congruent if those are different?
Well, the drawing's going to look different that way. But when I give you this guy right here, I'm saying that this big triangle over here is congruent to this big triangle over here. So this would actually not be drawn the same way. I just want y'all to be careful that it's not always those two little guys. Sometimes those are different. Okay, are we good on that? All right, on 4, it doesn't give you a picture, but it tells you the congruency statement. Okay? So when I see NE equals 11, then what do I set 11 equal to?
CA.
CA, 4x plus 3. So x equals 2, right?
Yep.
Well, then EW is 10. So 10 equals 4y minus 12. So that gives, is it 5.5?
Yep.
Okay. But I want to know what CR equals. And CR is equal to what?
Both of those. You just add them together.
Yes, because CR is congruent to what piece over here?
NW.
NW, and it's x plus y. So CR is 7.5. Okay, y'all can do that?
yes,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
All right, go to the back a second. So on this first one on the back, you by no means have to draw a picture.
Yes.
You are smart enough to match these up, but you are welcome to draw a picture. Whatever helps you out is fine with me. So I know that CO should match up with PI, and I know that CW should match up with PG, and so forth. So CO is 25. Do I have a PI up there?
No.
No, so not helpful right now. All right. CW matches up with PG, but I do have that. So 18 equals 7x minus 17. So x equals
5.
5. I should already know what PG is, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
18.
18.
Yep.
Now, sometimes the question will require you to plug it back in. Just depends on what it's asking. All right, I want you to take a second. We're going to skip 2 and we're going to go to 3. Because I like the fact that there's some squares in here. This is your congruency statement. You can either draw a picture and label it, or you can just set them up. You don't have this sheet?
K,
I already did it all.
Oh, okay.
should KJ be the same as
Oh.
yours today? For this.
I did the tutoring yesterday.
KJ, yes.
Why is it just?
I think your phone was still.
Okay. So, take a second. You've got your statement. Draw you a picture, or
Use your brain.
just match them up however you want. Ever watch Charlie Brown?
Yes.
I watched it a couple times
You're little, you've seen it.
this week.
When you're in school and Charlie Brown's teacher talks.
Well, wow, what?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really, that's what I sound like when I speak. 'Cause Yes, precious.
Yeah, I'll go for this.
Of course.
So when you factor, I forgot like what the answer is. That makes sense. Like I have the 2 parentheses.
Okay, and you've set them equal to 0.
Yes.
You've set both of the parentheses equal to 0.
So it'd just be those 2.
Yes, but you have to make sure that they both work.
Okay.
Because you can have a negative x, but if you plug it back in and you get a negative angle or a negative length,
I know.
you gotta get rid of it.
Oh, so you
For
can just
example,
cross it out?
on the quiz that y'all took, the open book quiz, one of the answers was -2 and 3. And when you plug -2 in, you got -64 as your angle measure, so you had to get rid of it. So once you get your 2 answers, you need to plug it back in up there to the x squared minus 3x, and you need to see if they work.
Alright. Oh, I got one.
Okay. But they could both work.
It can both work.
Only one works on this one.
Okay, are we ready or we need another second?
Give me a couple more seconds.
Looking huge. I'm ready, Miss J.
You ready?
Saying 2 more seconds.
Did you factor?
Well, I'm back.
both times. Yeah.
Don't turn around. You're on real thin ice with me today.
I'm with that last.
Yeah, you are. What happens if y'all miss basketball for detention?
I don't think we can.
I think
Like, I don't think it's possible. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
we don't have basketball on Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Think.
So we're gonna have to think of another punishment.
Then he can't help Peyton.
And I can't help Peyton on Wednesdays because Wednesday is my free day.
Yeah, then you'll have detention.
So if you have an
I can't
x
do this.
squared, then you've got to set it equal to 0. So x squared minus 3x minus 28 equals 0. So what two numbers?
Positive 4.
So that means that x equals -4 or
7.
positive 7. Now, if you take -4 and you plug it back in here, do you get a positive measure?
Yes.
Then they both work. Y squared plus 6y minus 7 equals 0. What two numbers?
Wait, so it works if you just get any positive numbers?
But yeah, I thought it'd just be -4 that worked. Because if you did 7, it wouldn't equal 28. I mean, not, yeah, 28.
7
That
You
goes
must be
for
home.
28.
Sure about
Yes, it would.
What? Oh, wait, no.
7 squared.
I got 7. Wait, what did I do?
You didn't get -4.
Hold up.
1 and -7.
One doesn't.
And do they both work?
Well, yeah.
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 7
Yes.
worked.
Yes, they both work.
So, in this case, yes, ma'am. In this case, we keep them both.
I don't think one works.
It does.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
didn't
gives
think
you 1
-7
plus
worked.
6, which gives you 7.
Oh, I clicked into the wrong
What about -7?
-7
That
works.
does work, buddy.
one.
That's 42. I had like a little stupid moment, I guess. I'm not sure.
On the quiz, you had a triangle that was something like this, and this angle was 2x. I'm just making this up. And this x was -2. That would make that angle -4. So that doesn't work.
Can't be negative.
But it can't be negative.
So the 3 works because it gives you +6. When you're in algebra, this is a parabola where it crosses the x-axis. But when you are in geometry, we are using quadratics to solve a real world problem. So we have to decide, do these answers work? Do they make sense? So in this problem, if you plug in -4, you get 28. So you're good. That means your x value could be either one of these. But in this problem on the quiz, when you took the -2 and you plugged it in, you got an angle measure of -4. That doesn't mean that -2 isn't a solution to the quadratic equation. It means that it doesn't work in real life. It's kind of like when y'all did parabola word problems and your time was negative. You can't have negative time, so you got rid of it. All right, I want you to try number 1. And I'm going to give your quiz back while you do number 1. You're using this congruency statement right here for all 4 of these. Now, given does not mean we're writing a proof. It just means that's the information you are given.
Got it.
I was scared that it was going to get pulled out and then that would be left somewhere. And that's what I was worried about.
Okay, this was there too.
Perfect. I couldn't find this earlier, so I reprinted it.
I'm gonna leave her stuff with you too.
Okay, is it only these 2? Okay, because you don't have.
Right, that's why I was
Okay.
like, so, do you want me to get your contact tomorrow, or you just want to?
It's fine. I don't mind doing it.
If you don't want to, you will. I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
I didn't write as much numbers. It's hard. Everybody's coming in.
It was first.
It's only 4 minutes, so then after that, we'll come into chapter 6 to 7 for the rest.
Okay, and they already have some of the exam stuff too, right?
Oh, Warner.
So we're just finding the x and the y value.
Do you do anything for? Yes. Do you do anything to check your calculator?
Keenan. I thought ahead on that.
Well, I appreciate that. You'll see my hubs. That's me. Well, I mean, I don't know which one, but yes, he's going.
So these are just found in X and Y.
Yes.
Are we doing all of them?
Your quiz. Well, we're just doing number one. I want to make sure we know what to do. And then I need to change a letter for the rest for one of them. So if you want to work these for homework to practice, you can. All right, so are R and C congruent to one another?
Yes.
So you're going to do that first. And you're going to get that X equals what?
5.
And then are QR and BC equal?
Yes, man.
So 4y plus 2 equals
5
5 plus y. And then solve from there, and y equals what?
1.
Y equals 1.
All right. I would like for you to change. I didn't realize this until yesterday. I would make this 3y and y plus 46 because these are two separate problems, and then you get two different values for x.
That'd be confusing.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do it.
So if you'll make what?
Probably made a typo.
Okay, now number 4 is a system. So if you, no, that's a lie. Hold on. Not number 4. Yes, number 4. 15y minus 3. Yeah. If you don't remember how to do that, you might want to work number 4 before you leave and make sure you can remember how to set the problem up.
It's not like elimination.
You can eliminate or substitute, yes.
Oh, it's like that. What does the check mark? Something hurt?
Check marks for right, yes. Those were bonus.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Do we keep this quiz or give it back?
You may keep it. Robert.
You good, Robert? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
It
it?
is really good.
I know.
Wait, that's in 40. This is only 45. I got 40.
You got 41?
Oh, that's
Yeah, that.
I was only at a 45.
Miss J, Robert's was out of 45. Mine was out of 47.
Next time you
I only got a 20.
It's definitely out of 45.
So that means I made a 46 out of 45.
Well, I don't know. I need to come on.
I'll look at it.
You didn't do anything.
It's not a good idea, Billy.
What?
What
I
do you
missed
what do you-
Not a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, then I do.
40 is like wow, out of 45.
What are you trying to say to me?
You did good. Can you calculate what that is?
What was the bonus? You don't have the bonus?
Is the check room good or bad?
Oh,
not bad. Dude, I thought I was like on 40.
I got 42 out of 45.
Alright, let me
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get like a 31.
Okay, I
I
had
didn't,
to,
I
like-
didn't have my notes.
I didn't have to use mine. It was okay. You
I
okay?
put it in the wrong math binder. You know, two mathematical problems.
I wanna go to lunch.
That's a decent.
Huh? You like something?
My 46.
I like that.
No, that's better.
Look at that.
I'll get start on a project.
Maybe. I want it. It's better than regular like lessons.
We're learning time,
Wait, who's your partner?
We don't have a
We don't have one.
Oh, that sucks.
Wait, John, what'd you get for number 30?
I already put it up.
Probably
Some friends, family.
I'm figuring guys.
Yeah. Oh, I know Allie got it.
I got it right.
Yes.
Right, isosceles. Yeah, I got. Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, I got that.
John,
42.
I put isosceles right.
I didn't have
Yeah, I
my.
got it.
No, 42.
I would have made it 100.
Let's see if it's the same thing.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have made like.
How did you not get right isosceles?
I did. I put isosceles right.
It's necessary time. Didn't get credit.
I didn't have enough pie.
Didn't have enough time.
If I had enough pie, I would have made it 100. So what's the 42 out of 45?
I can't tell. Are you
That's
saying
not that
high or high?
He said pie. I thought he said pie
I
first.
know
He
the
said
math
pie.
one. You know, like the math one pie.
Like 3.14159.
What is it?
You're saying you like smoker voice.
265.
Yeah, it was Henry.
It's Henry's voice. No, it's Henry.
Is that your Henry voice?
No, I'm not speaking like
That's Henry voice.
They have to memorize like 50 on home every week.
That's not too bad, right? It can't be that bad.
Hey, Vincent, grab my phone. You know what?
One side's gonna be a piece of paper and the other one's gonna be a piece
How much you think?
Brantley, don't put your water on.
I got you.
Yes, you ready?
Nancy, give me my phone, Nancy.
Uh-oh. Here we go.